From the Levy Center on the campus of Santa Clara University, it's a rare Monday matinee as the Broncos continue WCC play as they match up against the LMU Lions. Hi again, everybody. I'm Joe Rizzo. Welcome to our WCC Network broadcast. Broncos looking to bounce back after a loss on Saturday as they attempt to even up their conference record at 1-1. Stand by. We'll have today's starting lineups and the opening tip here from the Levy Center right after this. Back here at the Levy Center as we get ready for tip-off, the Santa Clara Broncos and the LMU Lions. An important game here for the Broncos, looking to shake off the frustrating loss here on Saturday, the 75-74 defeat to Pepperdine. The Waves winning on a bucket with 0.8 seconds remaining, a result that snapped the Broncos' four-game winning streak. LMU, meanwhile, while they're just 3-8 overall, they come in 1-0 in conference play, a surprising 9-point victory up the road at USF on Saturday. Here are today's starting lineups. First for the visiting Lions, and that win for them on Saturday was their first road victory of the season. It's an experienced starting five, two juniors, one senior, and a couple of grad students. The leading scorer, Ariel Johnson, a grad student from Tracy, California, 13.5 points per game. Kari Clark, Alexis Mark, Cassie Gordon, and the point guard, Nicole Rodriguez, the starting five for the LMU Lions. Meanwhile, for Bill Carr's Santa Clara Broncos, same starting lineup that we've seen now 4 consecutive games. It's the 4-guard look for the Broncos. The senior Lexi Pritchard, juniors Ashley Maldonado and Ashley Hiraki, the freshman Tess Heel, who leads Santa Clara at 16 points per game, and the lone forward, the junior Laura Edmondson, the starting five today for the Santa Clara Broncos. Looking a little bit deeper at today's matchup, Santa Clara still the highest scoring team in the WCC, averaging at 74 points per game. In stark contrast to this LMU squad, they are last in the conference in scoring at just under 59 points per contest. The shooting percentages all significantly favor Santa Clara. The Broncos also still number one in the conference in terms of made threes per game. Broncos have also had a significant edge head-to-head in the rebounding department. So the numbers certainly favor Santa Clara, and this is a game that certainly the Broncos very much want to get, in particular after the loss on Saturday. They desperately want to avoid an 0-2 conference start, and this is their final game before a long holiday break. Broncos won't play again for 12 more days. Won't be in action next until New Year's Eve when they welcome in USF for a day game here at the Levy Center. So it would make the holidays even that much happier if the Broncos can find a way to get a victory here today against the Lions. Santa Clara swept LMU a season ago, won both meetings. They beat the Lions by 11 points here at the Levy Center, and a 1-point win down at LMU last season. So the Broncos trying to continue those winning ways here today. They're in their home white uniforms, LMU in their road blues. And we are underway here at the Levy Center. Game number 2 for the Broncos on their WCC slate. And for the Lions, trying to sweep the Bay Area road trip. It was a difficult non-conference for LMU. They entered WCC play with a record of just 2-8, only one win against a Division I opponent, as that jumper is good from Kari Clark, and the Lions are on the board first. But LMU got off to a great start on Saturday against USF. They scored 28 first quarter points. They were up 14 at the end of one and were able to hold off USF the rest of the day, ultimately winning by 9 as Ashley Maldonado loses that one out of bounds. She's trying to contend that one was tipped as she went up for the shot. Doesn't get the call, and the turnover gives the basketball back to LMU. Lions last year went 4-13 in conference play. So obviously looking to significantly improve on that mark a season later. Here's Gordon driving, spinning baseline. The shot is short, and a rebound to Tess Heel. Broncos trailing early 2-0. Heel quickly into the front court. Now to Ashley Hiraki. Again, the Broncos going with this 4-guard starting lineup. And Ashley Hiraki takes her defender off the dribble and gets Santa Clara on the board. Hiraki's really been coming on strong offensively here in recent weeks, averaging 10 points per game her last 7 contests. There's a quick release 3 from Nicole Rodriguez. She is by far and away LMU's best 3-point shooter. Now a steal. Quickly back the other way is Mark. Some contact. She misses. The offensive rebound from Clark. That's no good. Couple of great looks there for LMU, but they missed them both. Still tied 2-2. About 2 minutes in here this Monday afternoon. Here's Heel driving baseline. Now spinning in the lane. It's good, plus the foul. Tess Heel, the Broncos' leading scorer, 16 points per game, 6th best in the conference. And a nice move there to give the Broncos their first lead of the day. Heel off of another solid effort against Pepperdine on Saturday, 16 points, 5 assists, averaging 21 points per contest over her last 3 games. And able to complete the 3-point play. It's 5-2 Santa Clara. Part of a stretch here for the Broncos with their opening conference play with 3 consecutive home games. So a really exciting game, just such an unfortunate loss on Saturday. Back and forth, the Broncos and the Waves. There were 21 lead changes as Lexi Pritchard gets all the way to the basket. And the left-handed finish makes it 7-2, 7 straight points for Santa Clara. And that 21st lead change was the one that did in the Broncos. Pepperdine winning the game on a bucket with 0.8 seconds left. It's a baseline jumper from Rodriguez. And that snaps the 7-0 Broncos run. Rodriguez averages 10 points per game, the junior from Eastvale, California. 3-year starter. Heel driving and all the way to the bucket for 2 more. Tess Heel, who we've seen it all year, has shown the ability to get into the paint and finish. And no one cut her off there. Heels got 5 early points. Has hit her first 2 shots. It's 9-4 Santa Clara. Good start offensively here for the Broncos. Here's a deep 3 from Johnson. Johnson, the leading scorer for this LMU team, although that's not usually a huge part of her game. Broncos with the basketball, up 5. Now Heel will set things back up. Goes around the high screen from Edmondson, tries to hit Laura Edmondson, but the pass is stolen. Clark coming away with that basketball. Now here's Johnson. This is more of her game, getting to the basket, and she draws the foul and will go to the line. Marielle Johnson, a fifth-year player. Began her career a couple of seasons at Florida before transferring to LMU. Foul was on Ashley Haraki, which will be her first. And we get the first Broncos substitution of the game now as Olivia Pollard, sophomore forward, checks in. Pollard returned to the lineup for the Broncos last game after missing the previous 2. Free throws for Johnson. She hits the first. She's an 89% foul shooter, 13.5 points per game, which leads this Lions team. Averaged right about 15 points per contest a season ago. Hits both free throws, and it's 9-6 Santa Clara. 6 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. Heel setting up the offense for the Broncos. Picks up her dribble. Now Pollard to a wide open Edmondson. Well designed there for the Broncos. They get a great look. And Laura Edmondson with her first points. Santa Clara up 5. Here's Gordon trying to shake the defender. Gives it up now to Rodriguez. Rodriguez kicks it out to Johnson. Johnson will look to create. Steps inside the arc. Now hands off to Clark, and she travels. Good defensive stand there for the Broncos. And that was a real point of emphasis. Pre-game shoot-around today for Bill Carr and the coaching staff. Very much wanted to get the Broncos off to a better start defensively. It didn't really happen early in the game on Saturday, and Pepperdine got rolling offensively, and there was really no let-up from the Waves. Been better here early on today. Heel escapes the trap. Good ball movement. Hudgens stepping inside the line, and Mariah Hudgens just into the game. Hits her first shot. Hudgens had 11 points, 6 rebounds on Saturday. Quickly back the other way, a bucket plus a foul. And a chance at a three-point play here for Alexis Mark. LMU beating the Broncos down the floor. And that will take us to our first mandatory timeout of the afternoon. Just past the midway point of the first quarter. 5-point lead for Santa Clara. You're watching WCC Network. Broncos have hit their first 6 shots here today and have opened up a 13-8 first quarter lead. Foul was on Mariah Hudgens prior to the timeout, and a 3-point opportunity here for Alexis Mark, junior forward from Chatsworth, California. Transfer from Boise State. Second on this LMU team at 11 points per game. And she does indeed complete the 3-point opportunity. Broncos up 4. Santa Clara, 5-3 record at home. They're 9-5 overall as Ashley Haraki hits the 3. First 3-point attempt for the Broncos today. And Haraki knocks it through. Santa Clara averages just under 9 made threes per game. That is still number 1 in the WCC, but coming off a bit of an off shooting day here on Saturday, is spinning in the lane. Mark gets her own miss and is heading back to the foul line. And that's going to be 2 quick fouls here on Mariah Hudgens, only in the game for a little over a minute. And she may have to go right back to the bench. Indeed, Laura Edmondson will check back in. Substitution for LMU, Amaya Oliver, USC transfer. She's into the game for the first time. As Mark back at the foul line, switches the first. And scoring has been an issue for LMU this season. Last in the conference, just under 59 points per game. But coming in riding high with the road win at USF, and what a start to their conference season it would be if they can open it up with the Bay Area sweep here. As Edmondson, some contact, and she's going to get to the line. Going to bowled over Ariel Johnson there, and it's going to be Johnson that's going to be called for the foul. So it'll be Edmondson heading to the line. Couple of free throws for Edmondson. Foul actually on Oliver, which is her first. Edmondson, 78% foul shooter, 9 points per game. And a perfect 2 out of 2. Broncos are still perfect here offensively. 7 of 7 from the field, 3 of 3 from the foul line. Can't get any better than that. And they've opened up their largest lead now at 18-10. Here's a wing 3 that's off the mark from Gordon. And a nice rebound, Pollard. Quickly ahead to Pritchard. LMU does get back defensively. So Pritchard will kick it out. Here's Heald on the wing, still 16 to shoot. Broncos rotated. Here's Haraki now, trying to create in the lane. She spins, bounce pass to Laura Edmondson. Edmondson spinning in the lane, and she finishes. 6 points, Laura Edmondson. Pretty move there in the paint. And the Broncos have now doubled up the Lions, 20-10. Here's Johnson, and she loses it out of bounds. Great defense there from Lexi Pritchard. Defending without fouling. Perfectly done there by the fifth-year senior. And a Lions turnover. So Broncos basketball with 3:10 to go here in the first quarter. A little bit of full court pressure here from the Lions, although now they back off. Broncos, their largest lead, out in front 20-10. They've started the game 8 of 8 from the field. Here's Pritchard all the way, and the Broncos still perfect. 4 points for Pritchard. And it's 22-10. Much better start here today for the Broncos compared to the game on Saturday. That's Noelle Yancey, number 21, into the game now for LMU. Here's Johnson, little step back jumper. No good, and a rebound controlled by Pollard. Broncos with the basketball up 12, late first quarter. And we get a little touch foul here that'll be called on Yancey. That'll be the third team foul in the quarter on LMU. Anna Johnson now into the game for Santa Clara for the first time, the junior guard. Destiny Samuel is in for LMU. Clark also returns. LMU does have a pretty deep bench. They'll play as many as 12 players as Heel down low to Pollard. Another great look, and that's going to force an LMU timeout. The Broncos are 10 for 10 from the field and have a 24-10 lead here over LMU. A short timeout with 2:11 to go in the first quarter. Broncos are now on an 11-1 run. Remember, it was the Lions. They were the ones that got off to a great start in the first quarter. On Saturday at USF, the Dons were having to catch up the entire day. Very different story for them here this afternoon. Broncos coming out of the gates red hot, and really just the one jumper, the three-point attempt from Hiraki. Almost everything has been in the paint. In fact, 18 of the 24 points for Santa Clara here early in the painted area. Just running great offense and getting themselves some terrific looks. So out of the timeout, LMU basketball, a 24-10 Santa Clara lead. A little hesitation move from Johnson. She'll kick it back out. Johnson gets the ball back. Three-pointer in the corner is good, and they'll say a foot was on the line. Call it a long two. Johnson with 4, 24-12, and now we get a ball knocked out of bounds. And the Broncos will keep it with still 22 on the shot clock. Broncos led by Laura Edmondson, 6 points, 5 each from Heel and Hiraki. Here's a deep three, Hiraki, and she buries it. 2 threes in the opening quarter for Ashley Hiraki, and 11 made shots in a row now for the Broncos to start this game. What an incredible start offensively. And that one was from 3 or 4 feet beyond the arc. Here's Johnson trying to answer, and she does. No question there. Feet clearly behind the line for Johnson. Leads LMU now with 7 points, 27-15. Broncos up 12. Final minute now of this first quarter as Heel drives and able to finish with the left hand. Again, takes her defender off the dribble. 7 points for Tess Heel. And it's a 29-point opening quarter now for the Broncos. 40 seconds left here in the first. And there's a ball dribbled out of bounds. Clark in disbelief. Thought that should have been off of Olivia Pollard. Instead, it's an LMU turnover. Layla Curry now into the game for the first time for the Lions. 40 seconds left in this first quarter. It has been a perfect quarter for the Broncos shooting the basketball. Rocky thought about another deep three. Instead gives it up to Johnson. Here's Edmondson. She shoots and misses. Finally a miss for Santa Clara after starting the game 12 for 12. LMU can hold it now for the final shot here of the quarter. Dribbling out near center court, Nicole Rodriguez gets a high screen. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Rodriguez fumbles it in the corner. Now a deep three and way short. Great defense there from the Broncos. To end the first quarter, Santa Clara shoots 92% from the field. They've got a 14-point lead on LMU here on the WCC Network. Starting the second quarter here at the Levy Center, and what a start for the Broncos here this afternoon. They shoot it at 92% from the floor in quarter number one, have a 14-point lead as Pritchard, they've gotten away with a travel there. Good defense, and the shot well short. LMU shot it at 36% in that opening quarter as Johnson, and she does indeed travel as she tried to split a couple of defenders. Certainly was a much better start defensively today for the Broncos compared to the game on Saturday. And what's more, that was a real point of emphasis pregame. And Santa Clara able to execute that. Now looking to add to their lead, up 14 here. Pollard drops it off for Edmondson. Now swings it to Anna Johnson. 12 on the shot clock. Now Pritchard, she'll drive, and Pritchard is fouled. And that'll be on Yancey, which is her second. Gordon and Mark back in now for the Lions. Broncos will inbound on the baseline, 29-15. Here's a three from Johnson, way off, but saving it. Tess Heel in the corner. Broncos, though, unable to get another shot off as LMU comes away with the loose ball. And now we get another travel as Curry moving a little bit too quickly there after getting the pass. And back-to-back LMU turnovers here to start the second quarter. Lions certainly not afraid to apply pressure and press. They haven't been able to do it much yet. Here's Heel. She'll hoist from three. Off the back rim, and that ball will end up out of bounds onto the LMU bench. Such an important game here today for the Broncos, especially so after the loss in their WCC opener. Desperately want to avoid an 0-2 conference start after what really was a terrific non-conference slate. The Broncos going 9-4 in the non-conference this year. And Santa Clara doesn't play again for 12 more days after today. They'll have a nice long holiday break, and they would love to go into the break with a big conference win here. So far, so good. Up by 14 early second quarter. Heel down low now to Edmondson. Double team comes, and Edmondson loses it, and it's out of bounds off of Santa Clara. That was a well-executed defensive stand there from LMU. The double team forcing the turnover as Maldonado and Haraki back into the game, replacing Heel and Johnson. Rodriguez now returning for LMU. Lions started the year just 1-8, but have won their last two games. So they're starting to feel a little bit better about things here as this conference season in its early stages. Nearly another travel. Now with the basketball at the elbow, it's Clark. She gives it up. Mark has it, driving baseline, contact, no whistle. Now all the way back out to Johnson. She's got to go. The deep three is way short as the shot clock was expiring. More good defense here from Santa Clara. We haven't seen any points yet on either side through the first 2 minutes, 20 seconds now of this second quarter. Ashley Maldonado running the point here for the Broncos. Here's Haraki on the wing. Now into the corner. Pritchard for three. It's no good. Well, we get a foul underneath, away from the basketball. And that'll be against LMU. Clark will be whistled for the foul. She and Edmondson were fighting for a potential rebound. First foul on Clark, the second team foul in the quarter on LMU. Here's Edmondson. She loses it on the dribble. And an LMU steal. Johnson quickly ahead. Gordon saves it. Back to Mark. Wing three off the rim and a rebound to Pollard. Missed opportunity there for LMU. Still looking for our first points of the quarter. Here's Pollard. Trail three. Rattles out. And a rebound to Johnson. 29-15 is the Santa Clara lead. Long two off the side of the rim from Clark, and a Broncos rebound. LMU down to 29% now from the field. Hiraki spinning, leaves it for Edmondson. Her shot is short, and a Lions rebound. Things were coming very easily for the Broncos offensively in quarter one, less so here in the second quarter. And finally, some points. As that jumper, good from Kari Clark. And it's going to force a Santa Clara timeout. Bill Carr a little frustrated with how things have gone here in this quarter, and frustrated with, I think, some of the officiating as well. So we're going to take a break with a timeout. 6:30 to go until halftime. Broncos up 12 here on the WCC Network. Back here at the Levy Center, Broncos have a 29-17 lead here over LMU. 6:30 to go until halftime. Broncos had a 29-point first quarter, made their first 12 shots from the field, but have been held scoreless first 3.5 minutes here of the second quarter. And after the timeout, Broncos basketball. Ashley Maldonado with the dribble outside. Waiting for the play to set up. Now on the wing here to Pollard. She'll leave it for Hiraki. 14 to shoot. Hiraki crossover dribble. Gets cut off. Good defense here from the Lions. Ball was knocked away. Hiraki keeps it. Now 6 to shoot. Santa Clara's got to go here. Maldonado directing traffic. Drives and draws the foul with 2 on the shot clock. And it's Ava Toon just into the game for LMU. With her first, it's the third Lions team foul in the quarter, so that resets the shot clock to 20 here. Broncos still looking for their first points of the quarter. Maldonado all the way in, and it rolls out. That one was just hanging on the front rim. And it fell off. Broncos still scoreless in the quarter. Up by 12 here on LMU. Now Johnson setting up, posting up on Hiraki. Great move, got Hiraki in the air. And Ariel Johnson with a game-high 9 points. LMU back within 10. Mariah Hudgens returning here for Santa Clara, playing with 2 fouls. The only Bronco in any foul trouble here in this first half. Here's Pollard, corner 3, rattles out. Hudgens flying in for the offensive rebound. Broncos keep possession. Here's Hiraki, and way short for Hiraki. That made her first 2 3-point baskets. And right now a lid on the hoop for Santa Clara. Halfway through this quarter, and Santa Clara's yet to score. Toon the 3-point attempt. That's no good, and a Broncos rebound. Still a 10-point lead. Broncos been playing well defensively here in the quarter, despite not yet scoring. Pritchard around the screen, leaves it for Pollard, and there's a bucket. Pollard off the window. give Pritchard the assist. Santa Clara needed that. 4 points for Pollard off the bench. She's been starting most of the season for Santa Clara. Broncos up 31-19. 4:15 to go here in the first half. Johnson thought about it. Leaves it instead for Rodriguez. Guarded closely here by Maldonado. Rodriguez will shoot anyway. 3-point shot, no good. The offensive rebound and putback, though. Alexis Mark. Almost looked like Hudgens mistimed her jump there. Maldonado looking for a teammate. Ball ends up in Pritchard's hands. Now Hudgens, and she travels. She was making her move. And a turnover will give it back to LMU as Heel and Edmondson return for the Broncos now. Hudgens and Pritchard will sit. 3:53 to go in the first half. And a 31-21 Santa Clara lead. Broncos only 2 points in this second quarter. Their largest lead, 15. Here is Aspen Adams, number 15, just into the game here for LMU. Good shooter, and an offensive foul. Haraki draws the charge. The push off there from Johnson. And that'll be the first foul on Ariel Johnson. More good defense from Ashley Haraki. Forces LMU's 7th turnover of the half. The things came so easily for the Broncos in the first quarter. Very different story here in quarter number 2. Santa Clara looking for a strong finish now here to this first half. A half that they have largely controlled. Here's Heel driving. She pulls up, misses, and a foul. She'll go to the line. Late call, but a foul will be on Johnson. That's back-to-back fouls on LMU's top player. And now decision time here for the Lions, whether they're going to leave Johnson on the floor with 3:16 to go in the half. Johnson's got 9 of LMU's 21 points today. 2 free throws for a Heel, and the first one is short. Heel's 7 points, couple of rebounds, couple of assists here in the first half today. Hits the second. Lexi Pritchard now back in, replacing Maldonado. Meanwhile, Johnson is going to sit now for LMU as Layla Curry replaces her. 11-point Broncos lead. Coming up on the 3-minute mark here in quarter number 2. Here's Clark spinning in the lane. Finds a little bit of an opening, but misses short. Another rebound for Pollard. Run out for the Broncos. Haraki picks up the dribble. Pollard now looking down low for Edmondson, and a foul underneath. Edmondson was setting up. And contact down there and a hold on Nicole Rodriguez. And LMU is over the limit. First foul on Rodriguez. So free throws coming here for Edmondson. Shooting percentage for the Broncos. Obviously, they weren't going to maintain what they were at the end of the first quarter. Still an excellent 57% for the game. Two out of 2 for Edmondson, who's made all 4 of her free throws. She's got 8. Edmondson, Haraki, Heel with 8 points each. They're leading Santa Clara right now as Edmondson cutting into the passing lane, knocks that one out of bounds. Some pressure defense being put on here by Santa Clara. Broncos up 13 with 2:40 to go here in the first half. Broncos trying to win their 10th game of the year. Even up their conference record at 1-1 as we're heading back the other way. An illegal screen there will be called on Curry. And another LMU turnover. They have had issues with that here in this second quarter. For the Lions, I'm sure frustrated that they really haven't been able to take advantage of some of these Broncos' offensive struggles this quarter. There's good defense as Heel had the shot blocked. Broncos wanted a foul, didn't get it. LMU basketball, 34-21, the Santa Clara lead. Lions will rotate it. Here's Adams. Puts it on the floor, drops it off. Now a three-point attempt way off the mark from Clark. Ball knocked out of bounds, and the Lions will keep it. Neither team really shooting it particularly well from three. LMU is 1 for 11 now. Broncos not much better at 2 for 9. Scoring has dried up considerably here in this second quarter. Shot clock winding down. Free throw line jumper. And missing it short there was Clark. Broncos basketball up 13. Great pass down low. Edmondson finishes. Lexi Pritchard with a terrific look, finding her teammate Edmondson. And Edmondson, the first Bronco into double figures. She's got 10. And Santa Clara now has matched their largest lead, 36-21. Ball out near center court. As LMU trying to set up their offense here. Late clock now. Corner three, Adams falling away. No good. He'll have the rebound, lost it, and then she commits the foul. Unfortunate there for Tess Heel, as the ball just seemingly slipped out of her hands. And then she commits the foul, diving on the floor. First foul on Heel, only the first team foul. The Broncos in this quarter. They've got some fouls to give here in this final 118. Leading 36-21. It's been overall an excellent first half here for the Broncos. A pass down low, and that's knocked out of bounds by Haraki. Broncos have held LMU to only 30% shooting. The Lions have gone nearly 3 minutes now without scoring. On the inbound, Johnson back in the game, playing with 2 fouls. Lions need to spark offensively. Here's a deep three from Adams. Rims out. Broncos had it on the rebound. Instead, it ends up back with LMU. Edmondson hit the deck. Gets up. Shot clock resets. Inside of a minute to go here in the half. It's a third look on this possession here for the Lions. As Johnson, a nice move in the lane. She misses, but a foul underneath is going to be called on Santa Clara. That's going to be on Laura Edmondson. For Edmondson, that's her first. Second team foul. It'll be a baseline inbounds here for LMU. A long possession here for the Lions. As Georgia Grigoropoulos now come into the game for the first time for Santa Clara, the freshman. Replaces Pollard. 47.9 seconds to go here in the half. Pass underneath to Mark. She had a shot, instead kicks it out. Now gets it back, misses it short, and a nice rebound, Grigoropoulos. So after all of that, Santa Clara, a defensive stand. LMU had 4, maybe 5 looks on that long possession. Didn't get anything. 7-second differential here. Good ball movement. Haraki now with it outside. 8 to shoot. Haraki loses it momentarily. Hands off to Heel. Heel with a shot clock expiring. No good. Fight for the rebound. LMU's got it. Clock winding down quickly into the front court. It's Mark. She stops just inside the arc and hits. And they're going to count that a long 2 for Alexis Mark to end the first half. And an interesting half. Offense was free-flowing for the Broncos in the first quarter. Slowed up considerably in quarter number 2. Came more of a defensive struggle. The Broncos maintained that double-digit lead throughout that entire second quarter. They're up 13, 36-23. We've got our halftime show and a conversation with Ashley Haraki coming up next. It's Santa Clara basketball here from the Levy Center. I'm Joe Rizzo, and my special guest today, Ashley Hiraki, Broncos junior guard. And Ashley, the conference season getting underway here. How do you feel the team has been coming together here so far?
I think everything's been going really well. I think right now it's a little hard because half our team's, out right now, but everyone's coming back healthy and ready to play, so I'm excited and looking forward to conference.
And I know coming into the year, head coach Bill Carr was very excited about this team from a defensive perspective. Thought it could be a really strong defensive team. It seems like that's starting to come to fruition here with how hard the group's been working.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like everyone's really stepped up defensively wise. Everyone's in the positions that we need to be, and I feel like everyone's just getting in sync. And so I think we're definitely working to improve on that. I mean, nothing's ever perfect, but it's definitely getting a lot better since the start of the season.
And for you personally, you're known as a great defensive player, a high-energy player. Talk about kind of bringing that to the table game in and game out.
Yeah, definitely. I feel that my calling card is definitely defense, and I want to bring that intensity, especially when the team's running low and especially when possessions aren't really going our way. Getting a stop really brings that offensive push and, the energy that we need.
Ashley, what did you learn from last year? Last year was your first year starting. It was kind of a big bump up in playing time. Now you're an upperclassman, more of a leader. What did you take from last year's experience?
I think from last year, especially being that there was many things that had happened, I feel that just, rolling kind of with the punches in a way. I feel that not everything's going to go as planned, and just being ready for anything that comes is especially important. I think being a leader, not only as the point guard, but in other positions is really important as well. Like, even this year, I'm running more as a 4, and for me, it was even a shock, but I feel that I'm just trying to do the best I can in every position and put our team in the best position to win.
Of course, you're a local player. You're from San Jose, Midi High. What drew you to Santa Clara and wanting to stay here in the South Bay to go to school and play college basketball?
I definitely think that being close to my family was a really big part, and I feel like, strange enough, even though I live near Santa Clara, it feels like I've never really gotten out and explored kind of near where I live, especially since basketball was a big emphasis in my life. And it's kind of ironic that I'm here, especially since in high school, I've played here since my freshman, sophomore year, having our CCS conference games here. So it's definitely brings back memories and stuff, and I just really enjoy being close to my family, and especially in California, the area is so nice and the school here is great, so everything just worked out very well.
And I notice you always have a big cheering section here every game.
Yeah, definitely. My whole family comes out, my grandparents, parents, sister, aunts and uncles. It's just great to see them and have them come and support me.
All right, Ashley, we appreciate the time. Best of luck here in this upcoming conference season.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right, that's Broncos junior guard Ashley Hiraki. This is Santa Clara basketball here from the Levy Center. Back here at the half at the Levy Center, a 13-point lead for the Santa Clara Broncos, 36-23 over LMU. Broncos were up 14 at the end of the first quarter, led by as much as 15, and still have the 13-point cushion here at the half. Taking a look at some of the first half highlights, and really impossible to start any better offensively for Santa Clara. They made their first 12 shots of the game. They didn't miss a shot until the final minute of the first quarter. And most of those early buckets coming on drives in the paint. Laura Edmondson, Lexi Pritchard. You see Tess Heel there finishing through some traffic. 12 makes in a row to begin the game. Ashley Haraki, a nice pass there. Although finally a defensive stand for LMU, as the Lions, they only ended up shooting it at 29% from the floor in that first half, and certainly struggled to get things going on the offensive side. Some of the first half stats, Santa Clara, well, they cooled off considerably in that second quarter. In fact, they only scored 7 points in the second quarter. Broncos still shot it at 54% in that first half. Didn't do much from distance, only 2 out of 9 from three-point range. Broncos outscored LMU in the paint 24-6 in that first half. And you see the shooting numbers for LMU, a real struggle, just 29% overall and 1 out of 13 from three-point range. Rebounds were even. LMU did have 8 offensive rebounds, but they only turned it into 3 second chance points. So doing a lot of work on the offensive glass, but not much payoff for the Lions in that first half. Turnovers pretty even as well, 8 for LMU and 7 for Santa Clara. Individually, the Broncos were led by Laura Edmondson. 10 points for Laura, 3 of 5 shooting, 4 of 4 from the free throw line. 8 points each for Ashley Haraki and Tess Heel. Ariel Johnson led LMU with 9 points in that first half. Also pulled down 4 rebounds. Johnson was saddled, though, with a bit of foul trouble. 2 fouls at the moment. So it all adds up to a 36-23 halftime lead for the Santa Clara Broncos, looking to get back on track and even up their WCC record at 1-1. 1 half to go here from the Levy Center. Second half action is coming up in a moment. You're watching Broncos basketball here on the WCC Network. Getting ready for the start of the second half, a 36-23 lead for the Santa Clara Broncos. Broncos have a nice long holiday break coming up after this game here this afternoon. They've been going at it pretty hard these first 6 weeks of the season. This is already game number 15 of the year, but they'll be off for 12 days after this contest today. Broncos will next be in action on Saturday, December the 31st, New Year's Eve, in a rivalry game. It'll be their third consecutive home game to open up the conference slate. Broncos will be hosting USF on December the 31st. That's our next women's basketball broadcast here on the WCC network. And note the tip time for that one a little bit earlier, 12 noon. So 12 noon on December the 31st for the Broncos and the Dons. And then after that, as we get into the new year, it'll be the Broncos' first conference road trip. And their first WCC road trip, it'll be a difficult one, as they'll be heading to the Pacific Northwest, Portland and Gonzaga in that first week of January. So a challenging trip. The start of the new year, Broncos would love to bank some home wins before that, and trying to get WCC win number 1 here today. And an excellent first half, really across the board. First quarter, it was all about offense. The second quarter, it was all about defense. And Santa Clara starts this second half with a 13-point lead. Broncos have their starting 5 on the floor: Pritchard, Maldonado, Edmondson, Haraki, and Heel. Edmondson leading the way for Santa Clara with 10 points in that first half, as immediately it's Alexis Mark establishing position and getting an easy 2. Maybe a point of emphasis here for LMU to start this second half, trying to get something going in the paint. Here's Heel driving underneath. The reverse layup leaves it short. And a rebound to Rodriguez. Pretty good look there for Heel. Made a nice move to free herself, but missed the shot. Lions basketball, and now a steal. Ashley Maldonado took it away from Johnson. And Santa Clara with it, as Haraki will back it back out. Broncos up 11. Haraki now spinning in the lane. It's up, it's in, plus the foul. Soft touch there from Ashley Haraki. Creating in the lane and finishing through contact. 3-point play opportunity here for Haraki, who's into double figures now. And the free throw is good. Haraki leading all scorers with 11 points. 4 of 5 shooting, including 2 of 3 in 3-point range. She has really found her scoring touch here in these last few weeks, and it has continued into the start of conference play. Here's an open 3-point attempt from Gordon. Good shooter, but missed it way short. Broncos with it, up 14. Maldonado, little hesitation move. Now curls back around, still with the dribble. Finally hands off to Heel, and Santa Clara will set something up. 39-25, the Broncos have the advantage. Here's Haraki. She'll let another one go. That 3 is long. Rebound tapped. Edmondson had it momentarily. Instead, Rodriguez comes away with it for the Lions. Here's Clark posting up Haraki down low. She's got a size advantage, but misses. Edmondson came in for some help. Now a run out for the Broncos. Here's Maldonado. Deep 2. Off the side of the rim, and a rebound to LMU. Lions certainly have the height advantage, especially with this current Broncos group out there, as Gordon throws it away and an LMU turnover. Broncos have the 4-guard alignment here, and that's how you get somebody like Ashley Haraki having to contend with 6'2" Kari Clark on that previous possession. But Haraki more than held her own. Here's a ball knocked out of bounds, and Santa Clara is going to keep it. 39-25, Broncos up 14. Early third quarter action here. Broncos have 2 players in double figures, Hiraki with 11, Edmondson with 10. Mark now leading LMU. She's got 10. 10 to shoot here for Santa Clara. Heel going around the screen, and it's an offensive foul. They're going to call it on Laura Edmondson. Bill Carr doesn't agree, as Heel was going around Edmondson and the defender, and it was Edmondson that was whistled for the foul. It'll be her second and the first Broncos team foul here of the quarter. Still a 14-point Santa Clara lead. Down low, it's Mark. Pretty good footwork. The ball rolls in. 12 points for Mark. She's heating up here for LMU. Lions back within 12. Broncos' largest lead was 15. It's been more of a grinding type game since that first quarter. Now a Santa Clara turnover. Quickly into the front court, it's Oliver, and through traffic, she finishes. First points for Amaya Oliver off the LMU bench. Broncos have now gone over 2 minutes without scoring. The lead is 10. Pritchard with it in front of the Santa Clara bench. LMU tightening things up defensively, and another turnover. Pritchard trying to hit Edmondson down low. The Broncos, the red-hot start that they had in that first quarter feels a bit like a distant memory. So it's LMU basketball. A 10-point Santa Clara lead. 6.5 to go in the third quarter. That shot short from Rodriguez. Ball on the floor. Diving. Tess Heel comes away with it. And they're going to call a jump ball, which will give it to Santa Clara. Good effort there from Heel. A loose ball that was rolling out towards center court. So on the alternating possession, Santa Clara basketball. Broncos only 3 total points in this third quarter so far. A strong defensive effort from the Broncos. They've been able to maintain this double-digit lead. Heel nearly lost the dribble. Now finds Pritchard. Pritchard looking for help. Swings it to Hiraki. 10 to shoot. Hiraki back to Olivia Pollard, who's in the game. Here's Pritchard. 3 to shoot. Pritchard's got to go. Pritchard driving with the left hand. She misses, and that'll be a shot clock violation. The ball never hit the rim. And it's LMU basketball. Broncos are now searching for answers offensively. LMU may be making some adjustments after they saw Santa Clara make those 12 shots in a row to begin the game. Ever since, the offense hard to come by for the Broncos. Slugging it out here with LMU in this WCC game. Much less free-flowing than the game we saw on Saturday. Here's a block down low, Pollard, and out of bounds still with LMU. More good Santa Clara defense. The shot clock is down to 5. Aspen Adams now returning for Rodriguez here for the Lions. 5 to shoot for LMU. Johnson throws it off the back of a Santa Clara player, misses the shot. The putback, though, from Alexis Mark, and a chance at a 3-point play. So Johnson, who initially threw that in, kind of caught Santa Clara off guard. Throwing it off the back of a Broncos player. The shot was missed, but the putback from Mark, and this is as close as LMU has been in a while. Free throw is good, and the Santa Clara lead is down to 7. 39 to 32, approaching the midpoint here of the third quarter. Broncos still shooting it at 48%, but that percentage is falling. Here's Heel spinning, and the shot rolls out. Heel's had some good looks from right at the basket here in this quarter, but has missed a couple. Here's a deep 2 in the corner that's no good. Another offensive rebound, though. It's Oliver in the putback. Oliver, who at USC a couple of years ago led the Pac-12 in offensive rebounds. And a second chance opportunity there, and now the Broncos lead is only 5. Here's Pritchard. Up top to Pollard. Down low, Edmondson. She's got a great look and finishes. Broncos make it look easy there. Good high-low. Pollard down low to Edmondson. Olivia Pollard, real underrated aspect of her game. She is an outstanding passer. And the Broncos back up by 7. A much-needed bucket. Now can they back it up with a defensive stop? And they do. Clara Edmondson able to draw the charge as Mark bowled her over. Nice sequence there for Santa Clara. And that will take us to a mandatory timeout here with 4:12 to go in quarter number 3. Broncos are up 7 here on the WCC Network. Back here at the Levy Center, 41-34, the Santa Clara lead. 4:12 to go in the third quarter. Broncos have gone over 3 minutes without scoring before that Edmondson layup, and then Edmondson drawing the charge back the other way. So Santa Clara basketball again, up 7. They were up by as many as 15 late in the second quarter as Tess Heal's able to draw a foul. That'll be on Samuel, her first, the third team foul in the quarter on the Lions. Broncos have Pritchard, Heel, Pollard, Edmondson, and Haraki, the 5 on the floor right now for Santa Clara. Here's Heel driving, contact, yes! And an opportunity at a three-point play. Heel gets that one to go. She's into double figures now with 10. Another foul on Samuel, 2 for her on this possession. Much needed bucket there for Tess Heel. And she does indeed complete the three-point play. So 11 for Heel, 11 for Haraki, 12 for Edmondson, leading the way here for Santa Clara. And 5 straight points for the Broncos after LMU had cut the deficit down to 5. It's back up to 10 now for Santa Clara. LMU looking for offense, and they'll go to Ariel Johnson, no surprise, and she'll get to the line. Johnson is, without a doubt, the standout player offensively for the Lions. And she's got free throws coming. Second foul on Heel. Edmondson's going to take a seat now for the Broncos as Mariah Hudgens back into the game. First free throw is no good from Johnson. Mentioned Johnson earlier, began her collegiate career at the University of Florida. 2 years there, now her third season at LMU. She's a Northern California native, though. She's from Tracy, went to St. Mary's High School in Stockton, and was a top 100 player nationally her senior year in high school. She's a big-time player, big-time scorer. Gets 1 out of 2 at the line. She's into double figures now with 10. Broncos up 9. Here's Pollard. Straight on 3 is perfect. Got the pass from Hudgens, and Pollard with her first three of the day. Pollard, 24 made threes this year, leads this Santa Clara team. The 6'3" sophomore from Melbourne, Australia. Averaged less than a point per game last year at Washington and has just exploded this season here at Santa Clara. Here's a basket and a foul. Oliver came up with that loose ball, made the layup, got bumped. It was a late whistle. And now she's got a chance at a three-point play. Fouls on Hudgens, which is her third. First Bronco with 3 fouls today as Oliver's free throw rolls in. That's 7 points for Oliver, all in this third quarter. Broncos lead is back to 9 with 3 minutes to go in the third. Here's Pritchard through contact off the window. Lexi Pritchard, really been her go-to move these last handful of games, taking her defender off the dribble, finishing with the left hand. And the Broncos have a double-digit lead again, up 11. Once more, it's Johnson trying to create. This time loses the ball. Curry saves it. Curry now with a short two that's no good. A rebound to Tess Heel. Broncos look to push. Heel finds Haraki. Corner three ball is good. Third three for Ashley Haraki. She leads all Santa Clara scorers with 14, and all of a sudden it's back to a 14-point lead for the Broncos. After a long scoring drought, they've now made 5 shots in a row. So the offense picking back up here for Santa Clara. Here's Mark. Double team comes. Kicks it over into the corner. Open three from Oliver, no good. She's only made 2 threes all season. The Broncos okay with that shot. Great pass, Haraki to Hudgens, but she misses the layup. Maybe he was surprised at how open she was, or didn't realize how close to the basket that she ended up being. It was a great pass from Haraki. Broncos unable to pay it off, though. Still a 14-point lead, minute and a half to go here in the third. Johnson spinning in the lane, over a heel, off the side of the rim, and now we get a rebounding foul. It'll be called on Santa Clara. And it's going to go on Haraki, I believe. And it's going to be the 5th team foul on the Broncos in the quarter. So LMU is in the bonus. And indeed it was called on Haraki, which will be her third. She's going to head to the bench. Maldonado back in. Edmondson returns as well for Santa Clara, with Amaya Oliver at the line here for LMU. Oliver part of this tall front line for the Lions, 6'2" junior. She's from Richmond over in the East Bay. Also went to St. Mary's High in Stockton. And a key player off the bench for this LMU team, a transfer from USC. 2 out of 2 at the line for Oliver. And it's a 52-40 Santa Clara lead. Broncos up 12. A minute 23 left here in the third quarter. Broncos have led pretty much the entire game thus far. Up 14 after 1. Up 13 at the half. They're up 12 right now as Pritchard in traffic. Can't get that one to go. And an LMU rebound. Lions did cut it to a 5-point game early in this third quarter, but Santa Clara had an answer for that. They pushed it back up to a double-digit lead here. Mark with a good head of steam. Misses the layup, though. And the rebound controlled by Maldonado. She'll ease up across the half-court line. Final minute here of the third quarter. Heel with the basketball on the wing. Left-handed dribble, driving, Heel finishing. Tess Heel again for Santa Clara. Not an easy shot. She's up to 13 points in this game. With 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Another outstanding all-around effort for the freshman guard. LMU looks like they're going to hold it here. About a 2-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. 14-point Santa Clara lead. Johnson gives it up now. Here's Gordon up top, 3 to shoot. Gordon onto the wing mark, open for 3. It's off the back of the rim, fight for the rebound, and it's out of bounds to Santa Clara. Only 1.1 on the clock. And a defensive stand there for the Broncos. LMU's going to put some pressure on here, looking for a steal. Pritchard's got to enter it in. She does to Maldonado. And that will end quarter number 3. LMU made a run there, the middle part of the quarter, but the Broncos answered. We'll head to the 4th here at the Levy Center. Santa Clara's up 14. You're watching Broncos basketball on the WCC Network. Starting the 4th quarter here at Santa Clara, a 14-point lead for the Broncos. Broncos shooting it at 53%, only 31% for LMU. As that 3-point shot, no good from Kari Clark. That's been a theme here today. LMU just hasn't gotten anything going from 3-point distance. They're just 1 for 18 now from 3. And when you're trying to make a comeback, when you're not getting anything done from deep, it's difficult. Heel underneath gets cut off. Back to Maldonado. Maldonado for 3. And we get a foul underneath, away from the ball. The basket's going to count. And there's an LMU foul on top of that. So give Maldonado the 3, which gives Santa Clara their largest lead now at 17. And a foul underneath was on LMU's Kari Clark. So the Broncos keep possession. They've already scored 3 on this possession. Chance to add further. Pritchard gives it up to Maldonado. Thought about another one. Now she drives. Maldonado spins, leaves it for Edmondson. Misses the layup and out of bounds to LMU. Good pass, pretty good look. Couldn't finish. 57-40, Broncos up by 17. A minute gone by here in the 4th quarter. Tough shooting afternoon for LMU. Oliver gives it up to Johnson. Good defense there, heel. Johnson has to dribble it back out. Now the double team comes. Johnson gives it up to Rodriguez. Now down low. And the shot from Clark is well short. Broncos had it. And now we get a kick ball. Santa Clara will have possession. LMU is going to put some pressure on here. They're going to try and force some turnovers. Doing anything they can to try and get back into this here in the 4th quarter. LMU got it to within 5 the middle part of that third quarter, but the Broncos had a response and immediately pushed it back up to double figures, and now leading by 17. Here's Pollard, swings it over to Lexi Pritchard. Pritchard looking for Pollard, but the pass is knocked away, and a steal for LMU. 12 Santa Clara turnovers now. Broncos average about 14 per game, which is still the fewest in the WCC. Generally do a pretty good job taking care of the basketball, as we get a Santa Clara foul underneath. It'll be on Edmondson, which is her third. Edmondson, Hudgens, and Haraki have 3 each. Haraki's back in, and Hudgens will also return now for the Broncos. 8:04 left in this game, and a 57-40 Santa Clara advantage. LMU with the basketball here. Underneath, and a travel. The Broncos defense down low forces the turnover. Lions have still yet to score here in the fourth quarter. That's 12 LMU turnovers. More pressure in the backcourt from the Lions. Well, the Broncos able to escape, and now they'll set up their offense, leading by 17. Broncos trying to even up their conference record at 1-1. Win a 10th game overall, going into their holiday break. Will next be in action 12 days from now, New Year's Eve. It'll be a big rivalry game here against USF. USF was surprised by this LMU team. USF, much like Santa Clara, was terrific throughout the non-conference, one of the better records in the WCC. And opening up the conference slate at home, and the Dons were beaten by this LMU team. 68-59 back on Saturday afternoon. As we get another LMU foul. This one will be on Curry. Third team foul already on the Lions. USF hosting Pepperdine today. Always looking forward to when the Broncos and Dons get together, and that'll be our next women's basketball broadcast here on the WCC Network. A 12 noon tip-off as Haraki loses it out of bounds. And it's back to LMU. 7:23 left. 57-40. We haven't had any points in this game now for a little over 2 minutes. Lions still scoreless in the fourth quarter. Rodriguez on the wing, now down low. It's Oliver trying to make a move on Hudgens. Help defense comes. LMU swings it. Now a pass back for Oliver is knocked away and stolen. More good Santa Clara defense. Heel out ahead to Hudgens, and she misses the layup. Back to LMU here, inside of 7 minutes to go. Rodriguez, and off the glass for 2. Only 4 points for Rodriguez. She averages 10. And that breaks the long scoreless drought in this game. LMU back within 15. 6.5 to go. Baseline jumper Pollard rims out. And we'll get a Santa Clara foul on the rebound. And it'll go back to LMU. It's been just kind of an odd game with the runs in that at times the offense has just been so free-flowing. Santa Clara throughout that first quarter, they made 12 shots in a row. Other times it's been a real grind and a defensive slugfest. We've got a timeout on the floor, so we're going to take it here with 6:27 left in the game. Broncos have a 57-42 lead. You're watching Santa Clara basketball on the WCC Network. Welcome back to the Levy Center. 6:27 remaining in this game. Broncos have the 15-point lead right now. Santa Clara shooting it at 50% for the game. 5 out of 13 from three-point range. Just 31% for LMU and only 1 for 17 from three for the Lions. They just haven't been able to get anything going from deep. There's a contested shot. That's no good. That was Curry missing, but Santa Clara turns it over the other way. Now a rare transition chance for the Lions, and Ashley Hiraki gets a hand in there. Leads to a steal. Well, there's been almost nothing in transition here for LMU this afternoon, and even when they thought they had a chance there, couldn't convert. Spinning layup there from Heel is short. Back to the Lions. Desperate times here for LMU. Down 15. 5:40 to go. Been a struggle for the Lions all day offensively. Here's Mark. Gives it up to Adams. Adams a good shooter. Spinning. Elbow jumper like it was partially blocked. LMU keeps it. Shot clock winding down, and it expires. Broncos defending there for the full 30 seconds. Force the shot clock violation. So they have a vastly different defensive output here for the Broncos today compared to Saturday. This has been one of their better defensive games of the season thus far. Looking to finish now. A little over 5 minutes remaining and a 15-point lead. Broncos swing it here. It's Hudgens with the basketball. She'll dribble it back up top. Heel, bounce pass to Edmondson. Edmondson looking. Now Heel. Heel drive baseline into the paint, and she finishes. Tess Heel, 15 points now, leading all Santa Clara scores. And the Broncos up 17 have matched their largest lead. Outside of that one run for LMU mid-third quarter, Broncos have pretty much kept the Lions at bay all afternoon. Got a third opportunity here on this possession for LMU. Now a corner three. That's off the mark. Another miss from deep as Rodriguez off the mark. That's Santa Clara basketball up by 17 here, 59-42. Here's Hudgens putting it on the floor. Hudgens driving, can't finish off the glass. And an LMU rebound. 4 minutes left, 59-42. Santa Clara, the 17-point lead. Samuel's got the ball now for the Lions. Still with a dribble. Hudgens comes in, pokes it away. Johnson, though, back to it near half court. Still 8 to shoot. And a foul. Heel bumping Johnson with only 7 on the shot clock. That'll take us to our final mandatory timeout of the game. 3:43 left. Broncos have a 17-point lead here on the WCC Network. Back here in Santa Clara, Broncos a 59-42 lead here over LMU with 3:43 left in the game. Broncos have held the Lions to only 29% shooting today after the Santa Clara foul, which was on Heel, her third. LMU still with possession. This is Yancey with the dribble outside. Still with it, 9 to shoot. Now a three that is short. Samuel, and a Santa Clara rebound. And that's 1 for 20 now for three for the Lions. They came in shooting it at 28% for the season, second worst in the WCC. And have obviously had a real tough time of it here this afternoon. Nice pass, Maldonado drops it for Edmondson, and an easy two. Good offense there for the Broncos. Maldonado gets the assist, Edmondson up to 14 points. And Santa Clara up 19. And now a timeout will be called. LMU wants a substitution. So substitution timeout. So LMU basketball in a 19-point game. Lions have gone 4 minutes now without scoring. That shot well short, and another Broncos rebound. Maldonado will back it out. Broncos can use some clock here. Got the comfortable 19-point lead here, trying to close this one out. And they're going to get an illegal screen call. Tess Heel with a confused look on her face. Can't believe that call. It'll be her fourth personal. Anna Johnson back in now for Ashley Maldonado. Closing couple of minutes here. And it has been a nice bounce-back effort here for Santa Clara. And while the vast majority of this game really has been a grind, lower scoring, defensive battle, Santa Clara, you remember back in the first quarter, it was anything but that early. They made their first 12 shots. I mean, everything was working. As that three made there by Oliver with the shot clock expiring. Now a pass knocked out of bounds. Broncos will keep it. Just the second made three of the day for the Lions. That might have been the toughest attempt they've had all afternoon. Only the third made three of the season for Oliver. She's got 12 points all in the second half. Now a little full court pressure here for LMU. Broncos still up 16 as Heel brings it across the timeline. And with the big lead, Santa Clara content to use some clock here. Now you start a game making 12 shots in a row. And you feel pretty good about your chances. And the Broncos were able to immediately open up a double-digit lead, and outside of that little spurt that LMU had in the middle part of the third quarter, Broncos have been able to maintain that double-digit lead pretty much the entire day. Hudgens will now check back in, replacing Pollard. 1:28 on the clock. Santa Clara up 16. There's Haraki with it up top. Haraki 14 points, very efficient offensively here today. Nearly lost it on the dribble. Now just throws it up from her knees, and even that almost went in. That would have been something. So back to LMU here as we've reached the final minute of this game. 61-45 Santa Clara. Broncos are going to get that 10th win overall. And their first victory here in conference play. Just a great bounce-back effort after a heartbreaking loss here on Saturday afternoon to Pepperdine. They lose a game on a shot with less than a second on the clock. The Broncos still working hard here today. Players on the floor and a held ball. It'll be Santa Clara possession with 43 seconds left. Broncos have shot it at 49% here for the day. As Maldonado breaks the pressure, and Santa Clara will use more clock. And a great win to get going into a long holiday break, and then a rivalry game coming up next on New Year's Eve as Hiraki off the window misses. Offensive rebound, though. Grigoropoulos gets it. And the Broncos will back it back out. With the clock winding down. And we get a whistle now, and I think the officials might be going to the monitor here. Maybe looking at something potentially flagrant or excessive. Only 14.8 seconds on the clock. And the Broncos heading to a win here, up by 16. As you see the officials right now at the monitor looking at that last play. Well, really, the story of this one twofold for the Broncos. The great start and the overall terrific effort defensively here for Santa Clara. One of their best of the season, just shutting down this LMU team. As we're going to take a look at that last play. This was back the other end of the floor. I don't think this is what the officials are looking at. That was the held ball, and then it was back underneath the Santa Clara basket on the last play with some players on the floor. So the officiating crew dotting their I's, crossing their T's, making absolutely sure here. And now they'll conference, and we'll get word on a potential call here. Only 14.8 seconds left, with Santa Clara heading for a victory. These teams will meet again at LMU the final week of the regular season, so it's going to be a while before the Broncos meet the Lions yet again. That matchup's going to be on February the 23rd. Well, the officials want to get the two head coaches together here. So the conversation ongoing. I think both coaches probably ready to get out of here. 14 seconds left. And it's going to be free throws coming for LMU. So they called an intentional foul on Mariah Hudgens of the Broncos. Her fourth personal. So the two free throws here for Adams. She gets 1 out of 2. And it'll be LMU's possession here as we play out these final 14.8 seconds. And Santa Clara up by 15. So after the long delay, now a steal. Grigoropoulos swipes the pass. And instead of going in for the layup, they'll just let the clock run out, and that'll do it. Big-time bounce-back win for the Santa Clara Broncos here this afternoon. Their first victory in conference play as they beat the LMU Lions. Final score, Santa Clara 61, LMU 46. Stay tuned. We'll have our post-game show and a conversation with head coach Bill Carr, plus some highlights and stats. That's coming up. Broncos win by 15 here on the WCC Network. All right, back here at the Levy Center on our Broncos postgame show, Santa Clara gets their first conference win as they beat LMU 61-46. I'm joined courtside now by Broncos head coach Phil Carr. And Coach, your thoughts on this win today? That was kind of an unusual game, and at times it was very free-flowing offensively, especially early. Other times, I mean, it was a real defensive battle and grind. But through it all, your team came away with a 15-point win.
Yeah, physical, really physical. I thought the first quarter we attacked really well, and we were getting at the rim, and only shot 3 threes in the first quarter and had 29 points. And then we got a little, I don't know what the word is. We fell in love with the outside shot, and we got away from it, and therefore we score 7 in the second quarter. But fortunately, all right, you have been in enough of our workouts to understand we guarded tonight, and they shot a low percentage from the field and from the line. So that allows you to have a quarter where maybe you're not making shots. And the fourth quarter wasn't much better for either team. So good conference win. I'm not gonna overanalyze this one here going into Christmas. We'll get better, but it's a good win. These 18 conference games are hard to get.
Yeah, you hold a team to 29% shooting today. I imagine you were maybe curious to see how your team would bounce back after the heartbreak on Saturday. You still haven't lost back-to-back games this year, but you start a game today making 12 shots in a row. 12 for 12. Didn't miss a shot until the final minute of the first quarter. Did you get your answer on that they were ready to go here this afternoon?
Well, Joe, again, that was great. And I got to be honest with you, I didn't notice because I was more interested in what was going on our end defensively.
Yeah.
And getting them out of rhythm. And we've talked all about our defense leads to our offense. And we were guarding them pretty well. And I think they banked one in or something at the end of the quarter to get to 15. But really good on that end. And then the ball was moving. We were attacking. And Loyola's good. They're physical. They're athletic. They're well coached. So, you're not going to beat them by 40. I'd like to, but you're not. She's too good of a coach, and they got good players. You just got to try to wear people down defensively, and that's what we did tonight. And that's what I'm most pleased with coming off of Saturday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Another balanced game offensively. How about the effort lately offensively from Ashley Haraki? We know all about what she does defensively and drawing fouls and a leadership role, but it seems like these last 6 or 7 games, she seems to be really finding herself on the offensive side and a confident look from deep, and really making things happen for this team right now.
Yeah, she's playing like a third-year player. She's been around this conference. She's been in big games, playing really, really well. I could go down the line of everybody that played today played well and contributed. But when Rock's shooting the ball, she made a big 3 late in the corner over there, made one early, and just makes plays, to help us win. And that becomes contagious, right? We got others that will do that, and it becomes even more contagious. And if all of us will do that, then we can guard and hold teams at 46.
Yeah. And finally, now a little bit of a break. You have 12 days now until your next game. Given that, this was just, I imagine, just a huge win to get, to be feeling good about the direction that this team is going, and now kind of at the halfway point of the regular season, early in conference play, and now you get ready for some time off, and then a big rivalry game after that.
Yeah, no, this is my first Christmas present, and hopefully everybody else in there. A really long November and December for this group, and boy, did they rise to the challenge. And what you said about not losing back-to-back games, that shows a lot of character, that they'll come and lose a heartbreaker on Saturday and not get down. And I'll tell you, yesterday's practice was one of the better ones of the year. So, and we talk all the time about, you tend to play like you practice. And I thought today we got off to a really good start because of that.
All right. Well, congratulations on the win, and enjoy the holiday break.
You too. Thanks. I'll see you after Christmas.
All right. Yeah, New Year's Eve for the rivalry game Santa Clara and USF. That's Broncos head coach Bill Carr. Going to be joined by a player guest here momentarily as the Broncos a 61-46 win here over LMU at the Levy Center. Joe Rizzo joined courtside now by, we were just talking about you, Ashley Hiraki. Another big game here, 14 points in this victory, the first conference win of the season. That's got to be big, right? I mean, Saturday was so heartbreaking. It was such a battle to be able to come back and get a big win today. So important for this team, I imagine.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think coming into this, we all were definitely, really pumped up just to get back on the court and, prove that we're more than just what happened last game. And I think we definitely stepped up, and everyone improved on what we need to improve on. So it was a very good game for us.
And it sounded like, talking with Coach, that it began yesterday in practice, that he saw that intensity. As one of kind of the leaders on this team, do you feel like that's kind of on you to get people going in practice and getting ready for a game like this?
Yeah, I definitely think so. I feel that all three of us captains, we definitely have that pressure to have a voice on the team and definitely pump everyone up when we're getting a little low. And I also think that I know people prep differently and prepare differently for the game, so I'm just trying to respect what they need to do when they're getting ready, but also have them in a mindset to be ready for the game.
How about for you, Ashley, offensively? These last handful of games seems like you're getting more and more comfortable, really finding your shot, looking for your shot. You did that again here today.
Yeah, no, definitely. I put a lot of trust in my teammates, especially to get me the pass, and I know they're looking for me, and I also do the same for them. I want to look for them and get them their shots too. So I really appreciate them for looking for me and then, just getting a rhythm right now, so it's really nice.
Yeah, and now a little bit of a break, right? But a lot of games these last month and a half. Nice to have some time off before you get back here on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm really excited. I know everyone's looking forward to go home. So.
All right. Well, congratulations on the win, and we'll see you back here for USF on New Year's Eve.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. That's Ashley
Hiraki. Happy holidays.
14 points today for the junior guard in the 61-46 Santa Clara win here over LMU. The Broncos get their first conference win. As we take a look at some of the highlights of this Santa Clara win, it was a red-hot start for the Broncos. They made their first 12 shots from the field. A 29-point first quarter opened up a 14-point lead after one. They were up 13 at the half. LMU made a little bit of a run there in the third quarter, got it to within 5 very briefly, but another scoring spurt for Santa Clara. At the end of that third quarter, quickly got it back up to double figures, and ultimately Santa Clara wins by 15. Broncos shoot it at 48% from the field, 5 out of 13 from three-point range. And how about the effort defensively for Santa Clara today? They hold LMU to just 29% shooting, and the Lions only 2 out of 22. From three-point range. LMU had a slight edge in the rebounding margin today. Individually for Santa Clara, 3 players in double figures. Tess Heel, the freshman guard, led the way with 15 points, 14 for Laura Edmondson, 14 as well for our post-game guest, Ashley Hiraki. For LMU, it was Alexis Mark, 15, leading the way for the Lions as their conference record drops to 1-1. Broncos now 1-1 in WCC play, 10-5 overall. They've won 8 out of their last 10 overall. They're now off for 12 days. Team will get a few days off. They'll then get back here and practice and get ready for a New Year's Eve matchup against USF, a rivalry game. It's always a big one when the Broncos and the Dons get together Saturday, December the 31st. And note the earlier tip time, 12 noon here at the Levy Center, our next women's basketball broadcast here on the WCC Network. This telecast was granted by Santa Clara University and the WCC. Any use and rebroadcast requires the express written consent of Santa Clara and the West Coast Conference. For the entire BAOSN broadcast team, I'm Joe Rizzo, thanking you for watching. Broncos win at 61-46. Happy holidays, everybody.